Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Strategic Command World War II, War in the Pacific. I think we're getting close to the end of the war. I know it's only April of 1944, so we may still have a few turns left in us, but the Americans have made it to the Mariana Islands. We've taken Tinian and Saipan. I think we'll take Guam in the next turn. Hopefully we will take Uthili the following term. We took Babelthup and Peleliu as well. So we are basically ready, if we want, to invade the Philippines, or we could just go straight for Iwo and then the home islands if we want to go more of the Nimitz Central Pacific route. Maybe we go for Okinawa. In any event, the Japanese national morale is not in good shape, and a big part of that is because the Japanese are in trouble in China too. We have driven up to Shanghai. We are just likely to take Shanghai next turn. We have encircled a large Japanese force sort of here in central China. I'm curious actually if they try and break out and go for like Wuhan and like go into our rear because we're in behind them. I'm not sure if they'll try and break out or try and like push west. They will have some supply because they've got a headquarter unit in there. But nonetheless, we've pocketed an army, 2 divisions, and a headquarters unit to the west of Shanghai. Shanghai just has a garrison unit protecting it. In the north, the Japanese are a little bit more put together as we push toward Manchuria. We don't have any more national morale objectives before Manchuria. We've already liberated the Shandong Peninsula, and the Japanese do have some forces that are still a problem, a couple of armies, some headquarters units, some armored units up here in the north. But like once we take Shanghai, you know, all of these divisions, all these armies will be freed, either shift south and sort of strengthen our push into Indochina, which we've also largely liberated, or liberated with the colonials taking back charge, or perhaps back into Burma. But the Japanese Empire is in bad shape. The chief problem with the British and the Commonwealth forces in Burma is the lack of logistics at the moment, but that's a common issue. Meanwhile, we've taken Rabaul. We are also pushing west in the South Pacific. And I suppose we could make a play for Truk, where the Japanese probably still have some aviation unit. Actually, they don't. I thought maybe they'd still have some maritime bombers here, but it doesn't look like they do. Our recon suggests that they do not have any aviation units there, so that's kind of a surprise. But, yeah. Meanwhile, most of the Japanese fleet's been destroyed. I think there might be a few Japanese light ships in and around Australia for some bizarre reason. They've got 4 ships left, but I thought I remember them having a light carrier or 2 in the vicinity. We might have sunk them. I can't remember if we sank the super battleship that had sailed down there and was kind of hiding in the ocean in that direction. Not sure, but in any event, I think we're almost ready to end this turn. I'm tempted to try and take Guam this turn. We have 2 units that can attack and drop a 0 to 2 attack. The 4th Australian Corps can't attack, but it could land. The problem is if it lands, it won't have any supply, and then it will immediately start taking attrition. I would rather throw a Marine division there, so the 4th Marine or the 3rd Marine divisions, which are on their way there, and they can't come till next turn. So I think we'll wait on that. Put a couple of battleships in this general vicinity, one to start bombarding and getting the enemy's, the enemy's, I don't know what you call it, strength down a bit. But also just sort of weakening perhaps their supply situation. Maybe it'll do some damage to their entrenchments. At least it'll hurt their supply, I think. That's what the -2 is it's destroying the supplies facilities at the base here. So we'll keep bombarding these guys. We did get a headquarters unit into Tinian, so that should help us really have a nice staging area. One of the problems that we had previously was we didn't really have good staging areas for the push into the Central Pacific. That should change. And then I think we'll go for Iwo pretty quick, as quick as we can get troops loaded back up onto shipping, so that we can get them, whatever, I can't think of the word, but so we can get them their strike capability back, because that's going to be important. I would say the one bad thing is many of my aviation assets do lack fully built-out air wings. They've taken a number of casualties in the process of pushing across the Pacific, so I would have to take time, probably a month or 2 to pull them back to get them fully equipped. We can use some of these ports that we've taken to do some limited replenishment, but they won't get back up to full strength. The Japanese do have a garrison unit here on Iwo, it looks like. We've got a sub. We'll move west of Iwo onto the supply line. We could also go for Wake. We've kind of ignored Wake, which is historically accurate. Do we have any more ships out this way I need to get moving? We do have this light cruiser. Let's sail it west. Got a submarine. And is that a Dutch sub? Yeah, we do have a Dutch sub here. We can also throw it onto the supply lines here. So we'll have a U.S. sub on one supply line from the Philippines. We'll have another on the supply line from Buna in the Dutch East Indies. We've got a Japanese battle, or a British battleship here in Malaya. I think we're going to move it to the Hong Kong port to try and replenish it so that we can use the facilities there to get their hit points back because they've taken a number of casualties. We've taken some shipping losses in the South China Sea due to enemy air and kamikaze attacks. We do have a New Zealand corps. Let's go ahead and move these guys into amphibious transports so we can use them in attacks. There might be some Japanese submarines around here. I'm not sure. Let's reinforce this battleship in Australia. Get this New Jersey back up to full strength. Work on this Australian destroyer. I don't think we have any other new units to deploy. I don't know if there's anybody else we can upgrade around here. Some of these guys already flew missions too. Do these guys have range to hit truck? What's their... Have they upgraded to get... I think they do have range. What's the supply situation there? Not great. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to do. Move them there. I mean, it's not terrible. But I'd like them to have more. 4 is not very good supplies. But that's what we've been operating a lot of our bombers out of. It doesn't have enough to fully resupply, though. Some of these are maritime bombers, too. Alright, let's do this. Let's move these guys. I don't know how close they have to get to be able to... Throw that artillery in a transport. Not for amphibious attack, but for eventually supporting amphibious operations. I don't know that there were any... Blimps were useful for recon. I don't know that there were any actual confirmed kills with them. Alright. That's a maritime bomber over here. I don't know if we can, like, push further toward Hollandia. I mean, none of these are national morale objectives or, like, key objectives for us to take. Let's move this sub over here. I guess we could take our cruiser down here and see what they've... Well, we probably won't see, because we can't bombard Hollandia from there. Bombard the oil fields here near Sorong. Didn't do any damage. We could take the... we could land some troops here at Sorong and take this oil field. That'll hurt their economy, so much as that matters at this point. I think we've pretty much already managed what we're going to do here in China. Okay. We really do need to get these this headquarters unit further forward to the front. Alright, let's move. So what's this Supplies 10. Okay, so that actually helps the supply generally across the front to move those guys there. We've got this Chinese armored unit here, and what's the supply situation gonna look like next turn? Okay. I don't know that I love moving these guys down here, but we'll see what happens. Ah, damn it. I was hoping that there weren't going to be any... Oh, nice. All right, a maritime bomber there at Ubana. We just destroyed it. Good job, boys. All right, I was worried those special forces units were going to run into an ambush, and I was right, but fortunately they weren't infantry. Alright, so we destroyed a Japanese air unit with a ground unit. They are very vulnerable to ground units. That's very good for us. I feel like the Japanese still have a lot of ground units scattered throughout Burma and Rangoon because we haven't really, and Thailand, because we didn't really destroy most of them. But it does seem like at the very least, like we've done an okay job of... Alright, can we... Why? I don't get why there's a -5 or like parentheses 5 here. Why? Why is it not supplying as much as it should? Move that headquarters down here. In theory, if they get good supply, it'll push down to this special forces unit here. Can we operate these guys here? No, we can't. Alright, we'll move out this way. Let's see what happens here. I don't think it'll be 10. Oh, it is 10. Okay, so that's helpful. These guys should have better supply unless they get penalized for reasons. Haifeng to repair that cruiser. British warships here are at risk to enemy air. The enemy still has... What do they have aviation-wise? 15 airplanes? Air units? So they could certainly do some damage to us. Maybe we just try and keep them... I don't know, I don't really have much aviation to shield these ships with. Like, where are they safer? Up toward the Shandong Peninsula and port there. Can't really pull back. I feel like ports they're usually safer in, but that cruiser may be vulnerable to kamikazes. We'll see what happens. You getting ready for a trip and you wanted to say you enjoyed the series. Thanks. Good. There should be another podcast episode in the next week and a half to 2 weeks. I've got another one already recorded. This one was recorded in June, so as you can tell, it takes me a while to edit, but I'm optimistic that the new one will be recorded more quickly. Or not recorded, edited. In any event, let's go ahead and end the turn and move into May. See what happens here. Axis Raiders disrupt. George W. Bush is in his first combat mission, or H.W. Bush. MacArthur declares that he will not be standing for the Republican... Okay. Did we not take any of the actual objectives this turn? I didn't see anything about national morale. Maybe that was last turn. Have a good one, Tomt. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, so more Japanese troops coming. Presumably they're coming out of Manchuria, which is a risk. If the Japanese pull too many troops out of Manchuria, that could actually lead to them triggering a Soviet intervention. which I'd be okay with. It'll just speed things along. But we'll see. Reinforce the troops at Ulithi. One of the 2 units in the pocket in central China. Japanese attackers are coming out of Japan now to hit the shipping. So we are now within range, at least, of some of their aircraft on the home islands. Japan's trying to slow our advance in Burma with aviation, which they do. Again, that's one of those things that they've got plenty of that we do not. You can see all of their air units here. We have 2. They've got obviously more than that. Artillery hitting. We did try to cut these 2 armies off here in northern China by moving our armored unit in behind them. That armored unit will probably be in trouble from a supply point of view and may start taking attrition damage. But if it does effectively cut that road and that supply line, I think it's definitely worth it. Japanese subs did attack one of our landing craft units there, but didn't do too much damage. I'm assuming they're attacking, you know, transports, not Higgins craft. Quit India movement. Every once in a while, the Quit India movement props its ugly head. You know. At least as far as we're concerned within the game. It's more, in the game, it's more of a nuisance than anything. But you can see Japan lost 38 to these 2 subs, 6 to this sub. So their economy is losing quite a bit of money to raiding parties. The Boston is ready for deployment. I didn't even spend most of the U.S. money last turn. I just totally forgot to even do anything with that. All right, let's go ahead and take Guam. We'll go ahead and bombard these guys with these battleships, and then we will drop our landing craft here. Even if we don't manage to destroy them with our ship, with our shipping, it will at least lower their morale to, you know, something very much less effective. So you can see the morale's at 3240 before this airstrike, 3239 after that airstrike, 3138 after the second one there. So just slowly, you know, around the margins, it impacts their general efficiency. Do these guys need to upgrade anything? No. Okay, so let's put one of these carriers back here. Alright, so we've got this MacArthur headquarter will attack. Only does 1 damage on the landing. Edinburgh headquarter does 2. And then the 4th Marine manages to destroy them. Alright, so we'll put those Marines back on landing craft next turn. I think you've got to unload them and then load them back up for them to... 3 headquarters all on Tinian Saipan. So next turn, that should be a supply gold mine. But I believe you've got to unload them and then load them back up to get their strikes back. But that's good news. So that's is that Guam? All is well. I'd say there's some tweaks to the game mechanics for this one. Nothing dramatic. Let's actually... This guy doesn't need to unload, so let's go ahead and move that carrier there, and we'll make a move toward Iwo possibly next turn. Might be 2 turns from now. Are there any shipping in there? Not enough range? Oh, the maritime bombers, they've got better range, that's why. They don't do anywhere near as much damage, though. We're just going to keep bombing truck. What I should have done is use the blimp for recon. These landing craft up to support the invasion of truck. I don't like that I'm using entirely... These are all Commonwealth forces, right? So that does pose a bit of a risk. You really do want Marines on the landing because of the way the game handles their... Fuck it, let's move these Marines down here. Truck is a national morale location, so we will make an effort to take it. We can't even move any air units to these forward islands we've taken because they're all pretty much full of soldiers. Okay. But I think, do we go for the Australia invasion? Do we appease MacArthur? Certainly launch a bunch of airstrikes. We need to move a headquarters unit down there, probably. But we could certainly launch a whole bunch of airstrikes against Leyte and Mindanao from Palau. Hey, Hauser, how you doing? I know. Oh, there's air units here. Okay. Well, those would be easy enough to destroy if we do land there. Probably spend most of the British points just on repairing their ships. Alright, let's go for Shanghai. We can only attack it from this one hex, huh? That's okay, we got it. Shanghai is ours. You know, these guys, their supply is not great, but neither are the attackers. I guess on the northern edge we have more supply. We can use some artillery there. Drove them back further into the pocket. Kind of drove them forward, actually. I don't want them getting any ideas. Alright, so Shanghai is ours. Just got to reduce that pocket in central China. Bangkok won't be unoccupied, so let's move north toward Chiang Mai and try and take out some of their air units. I think the guys up north have no supply because their effectiveness is very low. Alright, we didn't destroy them, but we did. Alright, let's hit this army of Burmese independence troops. Destroy them. Our armor can move in here. Destroy the unit in front of Mandalay. Mandalay is ours. So I think once we get a headquarters unit in Mandalay and Lashao, or Lashao, or however you pronounce that, that should help with our advance, I would think. So many air units that I don't want to bomb with my bombers. Let's pull back there. We can upgrade them to a better rifle status next turn. Alright, they've got those TIE forces in Rangoon. I probably shouldn't have actually done that. Now all these aircraft carriers are going to have to come out and protect them. Okay. Alright, we'll move that sub along more Japanese supply routes. But I think we've broken through the majority of the ground units in Rangoon. Alright. Re-equipping the Chinese units that were battled down. Attack that army from the flank. Nice. Drove that army back. Slide in here. So these Japanese forces must be very low on supply because they are not putting up much of a fight here in the north. Yeah, they are. They're basically at 0. Alright, destroyed that army. Alright. So we're pushing toward the Manchuria border. I want to see, they were at like 100 something. They're down to 75 land units. They're bleeding land units like crazy. For research and development, America's got so much money right now. I really want heavy bombers. We've only researched 3 and we haven't... Alright, we're going to have to spend some money there. Why did we stop? We're never going to get super fortresses at this rate. I don't really care about the tanks, but I guess I've got a bunch of money to spend. And I don't want to overspend on units that are... Like, I don't want to spend more chits than we can possibly research. Okay. So that probably does it for research spending for the U.S. for the rest of the war. I suppose command and control could be useful for the Soviets. I don't know. Might just be better off buying units with them, but... Logistics... Anti-air. A lot of this stuff might never even come to fruition. But anyway. All right, so that does it for China, I think. We're going to hold up on the Marianas for a minute. Probably go for truck next turn. I'm curious if their national morale collapses before we get to an invasion of Japan. Because we're way too early to think about, you know, atom bombs or anything. New units. We did get a heavy cruiser in the U.S., I should have upgraded the New Jersey down here. I didn't. We'll have to wait till next turn to do that. Okay. I think that's it for this turn. Let's move forward and... see what we've got. No, atom bombs will be developed. Oh, I should have zoomed back in. Sorry, guys. Chinese morale is boosted by the liberation of Shanghai. Japanese morale goes down, obviously. Over subs is hit by rough seas. Long-range aircraft level 4, that'll be nice. Amphibious warfare level 4, that'll also be nice. Theoretically, we can upgrade that Chinese tank now. They've gotten better tanks. I don't know that you see, like, I think it's just sort of like a, do you want to drop the bomb on these two cities, and then those cities get effectively destroyed from a production point of view? I don't think there's any, like... I highly doubt there's any kind of, you know, graphic, if you will. I wonder if they're going to operate those aircraft back out to Japan. That's what I would do if I was the Japanese in that area. I'd get them to somewhere you can use them as opposed to just constantly being flanked and destroyed in the Burma Rangoon area. More attacks coming out of the home islands toward the Marianas. Some Japanese medium bombers going after our troops in northern China. I wonder where they're basing that light cruiser out of. And they just attacked Wuhan. It would suck to lose Wuhan to cut off Japanese unit. I don't think we will, but we'll see. I didn't even really need to land on Ulithi. Like, it was an important anchorage for the invasion of the Philippines, but that's not really modeled, I don't think, anyway, in the game in any way. Kagoshima mobilizes its home guard. Every time I hear that wind sound effect for winter, I think it's a frickin' Katushka. Alright, the Alaska battle cruisers are ready. Also some heavy tanks. Oh wow, we actually got our heavy artillery to do something. Nice. Feels like we've pretty much broken through here. Maybe not literally, the terrain probably prevents that, but... Okay, so Mandalay should be a nice supply center. Forward. So supply will still be kind of tentative on the front lines, but not disastrously so. Really? 6 and 5? So me pulling that headquarter unit forward actually was a bad idea. Okay, well, good to know. So supply okay here, a little bit bad for this first corps, but it's at least doing damage and cutting these Japanese forces in two, so I think that's worthwhile. I was gonna say, can you upgrade partisan units? Is there any reason to keep these guys? Like, what am I... They can't even do anything. Granted, their supply's bad, and they're partisans anyway, so they're not really expected to do anything, I guess. But I suppose we should have kept that garrison down near Hong Kong, but I don't think the Japanese have the amphibious forces to land there anyway. Meanwhile, that corps just wiped out that Japanese headquarters. Drive that infantry back, maybe? Alright, that should stop the drive in Wuhan by flanking over that way. Destroyed that engineer unit here. There we go, pocket reduced. Oh, come on. I was literally saying pocket reduced and they survived. There we go. Pocket reduced. Alright, I will probably send some of these guys down toward Malaya in the hope we can use them to help liberate the British colonies down there. Got him. Alright, so that puppet state just got occupied. Meanwhile, our armor rolls to the north. Granted, their supply situation's not good, but we are threatening Manchuria now. There's some more national morale centers there. Alright, drove them back. Ah! Suppose I put that core in a dicey spot. Let's keep pushing. Let's push deep into their flank. I shouldn't have attacked there. I'm surprised these cities don't give 10 supply bonus. Like, that's weird. Feels like we should be chaining our supply here. Start operating some of our supply forward. Can we not upgrade these bombers? I should have been bombing there beforehand. Granted, those interceptors sure ripped apart those bombers. Holy crap, they almost destroyed them. Alright, what's the supply gonna look like now? This little, you know, sword thrust into their soft underbelly may not be smart. We'll see. If there's a way we can surround them, maybe come in and get these aircraft from behind. That would be nice. But manpower should at least be on our side. If I can get my artillery forward, that might help. Alright, that's pretty much everybody in the front in Japan. Darien, which is Port Arthur, we can maybe cut some supply there, I guess. Although I suppose we just put that aircraft at risk of being, or that ship at risk of being bombed. Yeah, we still got the Thai division here. There's a sub there, huh? So, can we... Well, let's do the air attacks first. I don't know that we'll do any more damage here, but... Maritime bomber's gonna take flak damage? Okay. Okay, so this is a Marine tank unit. And with 0 to 2. They got 3, actually. Not that truck was historically attacked, but it's feeling nice to destroy these guys. So we land in truck, and we can attack these subs in port. They'll be very vulnerable in port. I don't know, will they be vulnerable to a ship in port? No. Okay. So that sub will almost certainly move out next turn. Okay. Reinforce our air wings here. Keep fighting on Ilithi with these Marines. We need to get a headquarters unit to Battlethup. And then the New Jersey down here, let's upgrade it. I'm curious what they can... I'm guessing the Japanese don't have much. So they got a maritime bomber at Leyte. Nothing at Cebu. So we got some nice intel there. Basically, the southern Philippines is largely unoccupied, but the problem there is you got to probably land Marines because you can't actually... I guess you could land at Cebu, but you can't actually get a good attack on them with landing forces because of the way that there's no hex adjacent to Davao. So probably want to throw these guys on transports, maybe. Or just, we could pull this whole base force, Congo Force Marines out and just land at Cebu and Iljo. I think they'd be able to take Panay without any risk, and then they can just move freely south and they'd have supplies there. Not good supplies, but we could always throw a headquarters onto a transport pretty quickly. Probably land in the Philippines with the Australians next turn. Japanese keep attacking our subs for what it's worth. But not doing much with it. They don't really have much navy left. Alright, where can we replenish? Or repair some of these air wings. None of these bases are large enough to repair fully. I don't know what Naval Construction 3 will do for us, if that would help. I suppose we can see. I mean, the Americans historically captured the Marianas before the Philippines, but the Japanese fleet wasn't based in Japan. That's one reason Leyte was important. That being said, Japan only has 4 warships left, so... And we know at least 1, or maybe 2 of them are submarines, so not a huge threat to any real landing force. I keep forgetting about the New Zealand landing craft down here. They're just like, anybody forget about us? We're still here. I'm not dead yet. Mariana's turkey shoot was before Leyte. Because Spruance had gotten all the flack for not going after the Japanese fleet during the invasion of the Marianas. And then Halsey came in afterwards and was leading the force into Leyte and went chasing after the carriers. I swear the Marianas turkey shoot was before. Alright, so I think we've pretty much done everything. We do have those new units we need to deploy, so... Can I deploy these guys any closer? No. Lame. Well, I'm not going to throw on amphibious the whole way. They're going to take a transport. They'll move much more quickly. No, kamikazes started in the Philippines. Mariana's turkey shoot was before that. And the Marianas turkey shoot had the Japanese fleet carriers getting away, which is one reason that Halsey went after them at Leyte, because he destroyed the carriers there. There were no carriers left. Hey, Reddy, how you doing? All right, so we are almost ready. These guys got to upgrade. They got to get better. Get better. Be better. I think you can do upgrades there. We'll find out. We're not going for Iwo quite yet. Hey, guys, it's D-Day-ish. Okay. Any more research and development we want to do? Production... Industrial... Nope, not enough money. Okay. So we're decently ahead. I don't know if... Should we bypass the Philippines, Jen? I feel like at least Mindanao looks so lightly guarded that we might as well go for it. Alright. Moving on. Next turn. Loss of Kalgun. Japanese morale falls as the Prince de Wang's Mongolian Autonomous Federation collapses. Japanese morale suffers for the loss of Truk. Menjiang surrenders. China plunders 13 MPPs. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, China's been going very well. You'd think the USSR would be like, it's time to get in. Then again, right now the USSR is in the middle of preparing for Operation Bagration. They may not have the ability to launch a major offensive in the east right now. Do the Nimitz plan and go for Taiwan? I mean, I don't see why not.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen.
Oh, yeah.
Expeditionary Force.
Thank you, Ike.
You are about to embark upon a great crusade. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine.
No, they're falling back in Manchuria and toward Mukden. At least some of them are. What are they doing with that sub there? He's still in... Kamikaze! Oh no. Hopefully that's the only one. Destroyed half that cruiser up there. I think those are maritime. No, they're medium bombers. Okay. We don't even need to go full. Oh my God! Tactical bombers. They got naval bombers. No, British cruiser's gonna get destroyed in the LOC. And I'm sure many people will wonder why the hell they were there. And we just lost a Chinese corps. I packed those guys in tight. They had nowhere to fall back to. Oh, shit. They really hurt that guy. Man, their fighting effectiveness just went way up this last turn, it seems like. Dumb Boring Dad, by the way, thank you for the follow. And Orion, if you're still here, thank you for the follow. Oh, no. Sunk by the Port Arthur defenses. Shit. All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in for yet another episode of the Strategic Command World War II War in the Pacific series, episode number 16. We're getting close. We're getting close to major breakthroughs and defeat of Japan, I think, but that'll probably be for the following episodes. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Leave your thoughts below, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.